Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe, and do consider supporting the channel via PayPal or Patreon. You'll find the links in the video description. I'm going to show you a classic game. This is one of the ultimate Greek gift sacrifice games. Edgard Colle against John O'Hanlon, played in Nice 1930. This really is a classic. And it fits with a couple of very special amateur tournaments that I'm really happy to publicise. They're going to be held on the Greek island of Colle at the end of April, beginning of May. There you go, Greek gift, Greek island. That's the corny link. These are great amateur events. I'm going to be working there, giving lectures, giving tuition, giving a simultaneous display, and they're really good fun. I'll let you know more about those events at the end of this video, but stick around. Okay, so here we go. So Edgard Colle playing white. Now Colle was a Belgian player, died at the tragically young age of 34. He was such a talented attacking player, and well, he gave his name to this system, the Colle system, with e3 and c3 and bishop d3. It's basically like a Slav reversed, but he showed that this really has some venom. So here, I mean, I think that the most reliable method for black to counter this is to play b6 and bishop b7. But anyway, O'Hanlon played bishop d6 and then knight d7. All fairly quiet up till now. And now rook e1. So that, again, quite a subtle move, preparing to push forward in the middle of the board. And here O'Hanlon, already actually black has to be a little bit careful. O'Hanlon played rook e8, and that's not really advisable. One could push forward with e5, but then e4 is possible. Quite an interesting move is to play c4 and then b5 actually. And well, e4, this has to be taken. And this is playable for black. That's maybe not a bad way to play. Anyway, rook e8 played, and now Colle pushed forward with e4, and he wants to push that pawn forward to e5 to fork a couple of pieces, so that gets taken. But you can see how that exchange has opened up white's pieces, and this rook on e8 is maybe not best placed. Exchange, I mean, it still looks fine. I mean, the move one would like to play here with black is knight f6, but then bishop g5, and white maintains that beautiful bishop which looks in both directions, and that rather inhibits black's development. Obviously that piece on c8 is the problem, and that means the rook on a8 can't get into the game. So already this is a very comfortable position for white. And here black took on d4. And this is the start of all the fun. Incredibly, white can legitimately sacrifice a piece here with bishop takes h7 check. So this is, at least in the English-speaking world, it's known as the Greek gift sacrifice, giving up this bishop on h7. Why, when you give up a bishop, it's called the Greek gift? I'm not sure. It should, of course, classically be a Trojan horse. It should be a knight that sacrifices itself. But anyway, that's how we know it in the English-speaking world. So bishop takes, king takes, and knight g5. So this is the typical scheme. The knight comes out, and then usually it's the queen that wants to follow, usually on h5, but sometimes even on d3. And this game has been analysed by many different players, and more recently, many different computers trying to find the truth in the position. Well, King g6 was played here, and that is definitely a mistake. But usually that king has two options. Either you go back to g8 or you come forward g6. So of course we'll look at king g6, the game continuation, in a second. I just want to show you a couple of variations with king g8 that are really spectacular. So queen h5, that the queen follows. And here, okay, let me show you this one very quickly. Knight f6 doesn't work here because here white has a very nice winning move. You can always pause the video if you want to find the winning move here. White's playing win. Rook e4 is the move, threatening a big check on h4. And if that's taken, then here is the classic Greek gift checkmate. And queen takes g7. And very handily, that bishop blocks the escape square. Okay, let's just return to this position. Queen h5. Knight e5 covering the f7 pawn is very interesting. But there is a beautiful way for white to win this. So first of all, rook takes. And then queen takes. Now, your next question. How does white win from this position? This is fantastic. A really subtle way for white to win. At the moment, that queen can't spin back like this and take on g7 because that pawn is covered by the bishop. How does white win? Are you ready? b3. I love this. I love this move because, you know, it's a move right across the other side of the board that allows this bishop to come into play, striking down on f8, and the king has no escape. This is just a fantastic win. So, for example, if this is taken, check, bishop check, and when this is blocked, then once again it's mate. I mean, there are other variations, but that just shows you the basic idea. So what a wonderful move. b3, only move to win. In fact, the best defense after queen h5 is queen f6. And there's been a lot of effort gone into trying to prove something in this position. This is the most challenging continuation. And then f5 gives white an incredibly strong attack. Computers think that black can actually draw this position, but it's really touch and go. I mean, I think in a practical game it would be nigh on impossible. Anyway, that's for the record. But after bishop takes, king takes, knight g5 check, O'Hanlon played the king to g6, and this is definitely a mistake. h4, that's a nice move. So this pawn is ready to push down, to push the king to an awkward square. If f5, this is very nice, check here, check, and now queen h4. That's a really nice switch of the queen, and basically the king is not going to escape the attack. Rook h8 was played in the game, and well, there is more than one way to win, but Colle played a really spectacular and beautiful move here. Rook takes pawn on e6 check, and the idea is if pawn takes rook, queen d3. See, now there's no pawn move f5 to block. If king h5, then the king is lured to its doom on h3, and king f6. Queen f3 check, and this leads to checkmate. Basically the king gets chased all the way across the board, and that ends in mate. Well, we may as well go the whole way, and there you go. So after rook takes e6, O'Hanlon played knight f6, and now really beautiful move, h5, and that blocks the king's escape. So if rook takes, queen check, and now you can choose between queen h7, mate, remember that knight is pinned, or indeed knight takes f7, checkmate. Double discovered checkmate. There we are. So after h5, king h6, rook takes bishop. Obviously if that's taken, then knight f7 forks king and queen. So queen a5, knight f7, another check, and the game ended like this. Queen b3, and that was that. If king f8, queen f7, checkmate. That was the final position. So that really is a classic Greek gift, and I think that the kind of ideas that White shows in this game, they're really good to look at these variations actually, because they are so typical of the bishop takes h7 check, sacrifice the Greek gift, and well, I'm sure you've had one in one of your games at some point. I certainly have in my games. Now, coming back to these tournaments I mentioned on the Greek island of Kos at the end of April and the beginning of May. So they're organised by the ACO, the Amateur Chess Organisation. And there's the ACO World Super Senior Chess Championship. That's 65. You've got to be over 65 to play in that. And that's 27th of April to the 5th of May on the Greek island of Kos. And then after that, there's the ACO World Amateur Chess Championship from the 6th to the 15th of May. And that's open to all, but you have to be under 2400. In fact, there are lots of rating categories. So you'll find there are players with no rating at all, or just national ratings playing there. So, you know, whatever your rating, you'll be fitted into a category. So you'll find players of your strength to play against, which is really nice. I'm there in the capacity of, as I said, trainer. I give lectures, so I'm definitely not playing, thank goodness. But I attended the last ACO event in Crete in the autumn, and the organisation was excellent. There was a great hotel, it was a very nice atmosphere, and I can warmly recommend these events. And apparently the hotel in Kos is just as nice, which I'm looking forward to going to. Yeah, as I said, I really recommend the events, and I'm going back for more because they're a really, really nice atmosphere. They're very, very friendly indeed. And I believe if you want to book at these tournaments, before the end of March, you get an early bird discount. So I've put links to the tournament website in the video description. I'll also put them at the top of the comments as well if you want to check that out. And, well, I hope to see you there. Thanks for watching.